One of the worst arguments that I'll hear from the right sometimes, especially when we're talking about democratic socialism, is, well, how are you going to pay for that? And I'm on the right, but this is a really weak argument. Right? How are you going to pay for it? Well, we could tax people. We could cut spending elsewhere in order to pay for this. We could sell treasuries. Like, paying for it isn't impossible. Paying for it's not the problem. The problem is you wouldn't want to socialize any industry. That's the problem. It's not that it's impossible to pay for it, right? I mean, people on the left are correct to sort of say, well, that's an idiotic argument. Why would it be possible to pay for K through 12, but it's impossible to pay for another grade? Is it possible to socialize college? We just can't pay for it. No, we could pay for anything. Right? We could socialize Netflix, right? The government could give every American a premium Netflix subscription, but would you actually want to do that? No, because it would actually hurt the service. Because now Netflix doesn't have to actually worry about getting people to subscribe and stay subscribed. No, they just have to worry about not violating their contract with the government, right? They would probably have a contract with the government that says this is how much original content you need to produce. This is how much licensed content you need to have. And they would just try to keep their expenses as low as possible without violating their contract with the government. Right? Netflix is actually a better service because people are capable of unsubscribing. Right? So they have to make sure that they're getting content that people actually want to watch. They're producing content people want to watch. They are keeping their servers up to date, because if people aren't, if their connection is crappy and their content is being viewed in low quality, then people aren't going to stay subscribed. Versus if the government is forcing everyone to pay for everyone's Netflix, then they have to worry about someone unsubscribing for a reason like that. So they don't have to worry about that. They just have to worry about appeasing the bureaucrats. So the service would actually be made worse as a result of socializing it. Right? If you wanted people to have access to good entertainment, socializing Netflix would be terrible for entertainment. Right? Same with socializing smartphones. If we were just like, let's give everyone the latest iPhone at the end of every year. Well, okay, now Apple is going to put the cheapest technology possible into whatever phone is being socialized so they can have the highest revenue possible, right? They're just going to try to, stay within the contract and have the highest revenue rather than try to actually produce a phone that people are going to actually want to buy themselves. Right? Socialism is it's bad. If you socialize technology, it's going to end up with worse technology. The country's going to end up overpaying for cruddy technology. Right? Same with socializing entertainment. Okay? Don't say, well, we can't pay for it. No, we can pay for it. We can pay for it. Just tax the rich. Just, print money. There are ways to pay for anything. The problem isn't that we can't pay for it, right? And even leftists will agree there's tons of stuff that the government pays for that even people on the left will be like, well, we shouldn't spend money on that, right? So people on the left, they get that there's stuff where we can cut spending. We can cut spending in places. So instead of saying, well, how are you going to pay for it? Because that just sounds like you're talking to children. Like, well, that's against the rules to pay for a new thing. No, you do just sound closed-minded. No, you wouldn't want to socialize college. You wouldn't want to do it. You wouldn't want to socialize healthcare. It's going to actually hurt the integrity of the industry, because rather than trying to sell a product or service that the consumers want to buy, they're just going to be trying to appease the bureaucrats. They're going to be trying to play within the regulations. Right? So colleges aren't going to try to have valuable degrees so that people can get high-paying jobs afterwards. No, it's just like, well, you see, the government just paying for everyone to get whatever degree they want. So we're just going to come up with a bunch of appealing degrees that don't necessarily have a strong career prospect after the fact. And we already have this problem, right? Because the government subsidizes college, they guarantee loans, but they don't outright pay for everyone college, right? You have to pay the government back the loan. But we've already, just socializing college outright would go even further in this direction. Degrees would be worth even less. Okay, so rather than saying, we can't pay for it, no, tell them why you wouldn't want to socialize the industry. Right? Just like any, most Democratic socialists would agree, you wouldn't want to socialize technology or entertainment. That would be a disaster, right? Well, yeah, apply it to college then, apply it to healthcare. And then this forces the socialism advocate to do like a sleight of hand where they say, oh, no, well, you see, it's that college and healthcare are human rights, therefore it ought to be different for those industries than it would be for entertainment or technology. It ought to be different because it's a human right, which is just a nonsense position that should be pretty easy to topple, right? Or maybe they'll say, but Europe socialized everything and it's just the greatest. Maybe they'll say something like that, right? But yeah, stop using the dumb argument of we can't pay for it. No, unfortunately, the government has had no problem paying, getting well over $20 trillion in debt. So yeah, we can't pay for it. Doesn't really fly. The leftists are correct to say that doesn't fly.